Hey everybody, I just wanted to talk to you about a film really quick, and it's keeping in the same theme of Dave's review of the Roger Corman cult classics. This one is The Evil. And within 5 minutes of watching this film, I realized that I used to own it on VHS, so this was kind of a trip down nostalgia lane, or whatever. So the movie stars Richard Crenna, who a lot of you know as Colonel Trautman from the Rambo films. So I'll probably keep referring to him as Colonel Trautman throughout the film. So essentially the film is Colonel Trautman buys this mansion for really, really low price. And he wants to turn it into a drug rehabilitation center along with his wife. He invites his colleagues and some students over to come fix it.
I think the ladies should do the kitchen.
Oh, no, none of that.
No, if the ladies are displeased with their assignment, fuck them.
So upon exploring the house and starting to get it fixed up, they come across this hatch in the basement, which is sealed by this cross, and without thinking about it, he removes it. This is when all the evil is released and the movie finally, kind of starts, kind of kick into gear. Well, as you'd expect from this moment on, the film just really turns into a paranormal slasher. And there's not much else to say beyond that. It's kind of shallow at this part. It's just, you're waiting, you know who's going to live, so you're just waiting for each one of these characters to get picked off, one at a time. And that's exactly what happens.
I'm sorry. It was my fault. Fuck them.
In typical slasher format, one of them's just like, okay, I'll go over here and do this by myself, and they're gonna die. Most notably, a lot of the deaths, though, were kind of interesting. There's this one electrician. He just bought, apparently, endless miles of, cable. And once they figure out that they need to escape from, one of the towers of this mansion, because the entire mansion is completely barred and closed off. The evil's not going to open up the doors, and anytime they attempt to go out a window or a door or try to break it, they either fly back or the tools get knocked out of their hands. But he decides, this one guy decides he's just going to climb down the tower. And apparently the evil has, X-Men powers like Storm, and just, fries him with a lightning bolt because he was getting outside. And later on, using these same cables, they decide that they want to try to electrocute the bars off the windows. I don't get it either. One of the coolest parts, though, is this character, he's trying to saw through the door with one of the saws they brought, like a radial saw, and he ends up just, getting hypnotized, so he just saws into his own hand and almost cuts it off, and that was literally the only gory moment in the entire film. So don't expect any gore. Richard Crenna finally decides he's going to believe in God because his wife does, and they go down the hatch hoping to end this all. And, of course, they split up, because they're going to try to build tension in this last 2 minutes. So he goes into this big white room that's filled entirely with fog, and you just hear some jolly chuckling. And I guess this is supposed to be the devil, but the evil is not what you'd expect. It's not a monster in makeup. It's not like some suave-looking Pacino, like Devil's Advocate, like a lawyer-looking dude. It's literally just a fat, bearded guy with white hair in a white suit in a white room. It's almost like, I think it's like the Matrix, that dude in the room. That's all it is, and he's just in there laughing, telling Richard Crenna to destroy the cross, and of course he doesn't, and his wife comes in and saves him. Fuck him. And they escape the hatch, get into their station wagon, and leave, and that's when the credits roll. So it was a really weak ending to a kind of weak film. Although I just want to say, I did somewhat enjoy the film. It definitely kept my attention the whole time. It was somewhat atmospheric. But it just lacked on so many levels. For a horror film, it was literally no scares. And I know we're all grown-ups watching horror films, we're not going to get scared, but it's like, you could be okay with a child watching this. Like, it was literally a made-for-TV movie just with an R rating. I honestly don't know how it got an R rating. Maybe it was because of the one scene with the hand, or... It just... No scares, no gore. Kind of entertaining. Might be worth checking out if you want to. So thanks for listening. I'll see you next time.
I sacrificed the innocent caretaker.
Fuck 'em.